Did you know that you can enable auto running from your settings now? In the last week's update, Jagex made a new feature where you automatically start running if your energy is at a certain threshold. So for example, I set my threshold to 10 and I eat a bite of summer pie at 0 energy. I automatically start running again because summer pies restore 10 run energy. The best threshold I found is actually 20 because that's the value you get out of a stamina potion or super energy potion. Because for example, if I set it to 1, it just does this weird flickering between walking and running, But overall, it's a very good quality of life improvement. Or did you know that there is this nifty tool in KriibusFC plugin that allows you to always have your camera at a 360-degree angle and slowly rotate it without having to press any buttons? For me, this was especially good while I'm draining agility because I always wanted the next obstacle to be in front of me. If you want to try it out yourself, firstly you need to download the KriibusFC plugin on RuneLite. Then you go to settings and scroll down until you see the Oculus Orb section. There you need to make sure your rotate horizontal speed is set at 1 and you have to assign a hotkey to start rotating. For me the key is 2, so whenever I press 2 it slowly starts to do a 360-degree rotation. And it takes roughly about 45 seconds to do the full rotation, which is also 1 lap of RT agility course. It's definitely something that's not for everyone, but it did make my agility grind a little bit easier. I must say I love this kind of small little fun facts that can either improve your gameplay or it's just a nice thing to know about. So for the next 10 or so minutes, let me show you what I found out, and there might be some cool Runescape facts that you didn't even know about. And we're starting off with collection log. You see, about 1 month ago, a user named Logical Breadfruit made a post on Reddit that had the entire list of monsters and how long it takes to fill their collection logs. The longest post for expected completion KC in this game is Corporeal Beast, that comes in at roughly 500 hours of gameplay, and that is a lot. On the opposite side, the shortest post to green log was the Dagana Kings, which comes to roughly 5 hours of each gameplay. Now do keep in mind, these do not include pet drops, and these numbers are rough averages. Honestly, it all depends on your gear, your stats, your prayers, potions, and much more. Most importantly, you could always go dry or maybe even get lucky, and at the end of the day, that's the beauty of oldschool RuneScape. Some interesting stats that OP brought out is things like Corrupted Gauntlet, which on average takes roughly 500 KC to complete, but the expected completion time also counts in the 6 armor seeds you need to get the full crystal armor. Or for example the Nightmare boss, where the expected completion KC considers the players to get 3 Nightmare staffs, because the assumption is that for 3 orbs you also need 3 staff, aka going the Iron Man route. And that also significantly increases your kill count, which ends up being 3726 KC for full completion. Again, I just want to emphasize that these are just expected numbers, and in reality there are many things that can go differently. In fact, let's take a random example and say we are looking into completing Abyssal Sire drop table. We need all 3 bludgeon pieces, the Abyssal Dagger, Abyssal Whip, and the Abyssal Head, which roughly takes you 800 KC to get all drops. Now the chances that you actually completed on 800 KC is about 63%. That also tells us that there is a 1 in a 6 chance that you might go twice over the expected kill count and not even complete Abyssal Sire by 1600 KC. And this gets even more surreal. If you pick out specific 20 bosses from this list, the chances of you going triple over your normal KC completion at least in one of those bosses is over 96%, which means at some point in your PvMing experience you will very likely go triple kill count try at a certain boss. For example, if I say Vartorvi's expected completion time is 1600 KC, in reality you could easily go over 5000 before you complete it if you get unlucky. That is definitely something to look forward to. So you know what, just hope that you don't have to do 10,000 KC of Nightmare boss just to complete your log. I'll leave a link to the Reddit post down below so you can check it out yourself, and while you're down there, consider helping me out and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on the next video. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get back to the game and talk about crystal shards. Recently, Jagex updated them and you can get so much more now than you used to. For example, catching crystal implings can give you up to 40 crystal shards if you can find one. But there is an even better way way to obtain them, and it actually has nothing to do with thriftiness. The best way to get crystal shards is through LMS. You see, it takes roughly about 10 minutes to get 12 points in this game, especially during daytime when bots are playing and there's no competition. You can swap those 12 points for crystal weapon seed. And if you come to this guy over here and talk to him, he will trade your crystal weapon seed for a crystal acorn. Then with 74 farming, you can plant them, and 8 hours later you get 30 crystal shards for free, which if turned into money gives you roughly 500k GP, or can be easily used in your BOFA for extra 3000 shots. It's almost like a passive income in a sense, because it takes roughly 15 minutes to do all the work, and then 8 hours later you have 500k worth of crystal shards. You get like 13,000 farming experience per one crystal tree. So if you're already doing your dailies like birdhouse runs and collecting achievement tire rewards, this is basically the same but even better rewards. Next up, I want to show you the fastest way to get the Rocky Pet in old school Runescape. This new method that was just discovered in 2024 is still pretty unknown, and it only requires you to have one alt account. It takes place in Trainer Market, and step number 1 is luring both of the market cards. The first card can be lured into the wise old man's house. The second card can be lured behind this fence over here, and he will never move away from this location. And the final step is to use your alt account to talk to Olivia in a location where she doesn't see your main account. You can just keep the chat open, that's it, once every 20 minutes, refresh the talking options, and you're good to go. Then all you have to do is set up a good camera angle. I advise you to use resizable client that allows you to move camera more freely, and once you find a sweet spot between two market stalls, you can just continue to click away. That's it, that's the entire method. The reason this is the fastest method is because Rocky Pet drop rate is amplified by stalls compared to every other thieving method, and since these stalls have no downtime, you can just freely click away until you get the pet. On average, it will take you roughly 16 hours to obtain Rocky. Usually you will get it even faster, and it's even better with wireless mouse, because essentially you can just click one spot and move away from your computer for like 15-20 minutes doing other things. If you ever wanted a fast killing method, this is likely one of the fastest methods in the game, and it's also super chill. The only downside is that sometimes certain NPCs will get into the same spot as you're clicking, and you will accidentally click on these NPCs, but the solution for it is to use the menu entry swapper plugin, so every nearby NPC has a right click option, so even if they're wandering through your click radius, you don't accidentally click on them. And that's it, good luck hunting your pets. Next up is a beginner friendly way to make money. If you just came off the tutorial island and you need a way to make the best money possible, your answer is always gonna be gourmet implings. You see, they are currently 6k each, because the demand for gourmet implings is at an all-time high. The best part is they only require 28 hunter to catch, and if you're a new account, that takes you only like half an hour to obtain. So let's say you come off tutorial island, you complete the natural history quiz, you get 1000 hunter experience, and you train the skill for 30 minutes, and now your hunter level is 28. Yay! You have a little bit of GP at the start, like 50k, you buy a ring of dwelling, games necklace, few hunter supplies like impling jars, butterfly nets, and so on. You don't actually need to complete Lost City quest to access Puro Puro, but it does help. The reason for this is because there are wheat fields across the game, and every 15 minutes, somewhere on the map these wheat fields open up an option for you to teleport to Puro Puro. The best part is that it's a fixed rotation. So for example, if I see a wheat field in Trainer Village, I know that the next one is going to be in Remington, then Varrock, and so on and so on. This fixed rotation is posted on Wiki as well, and it allows you to bypass the Lost City quest. The method itself is very simple. With the impling plugin, I can see where the fixed spawn for gourmet implings are, and I just continue catching them until I have a full inventory. One of them is 6k each, and a full inventory is roughly 150k, which took me just few minutes to obtain. If you do this method for an entire hour, you can get up to 2 million GP profit on a brand new account that just came off the tutorial island few hours ago. The reason it's so in demand is because people like me, who love to do master clues, don't like to collect easy clues, and the fastest way to get easy clues is through these implings. That's why the price is so high and likely will never crash. High-end players are always willing to pay premium prices for these implings, so it's a very fast way for low-level accounts to earn some money. Also, as you get higher hunter levels, you can obtain higher implings as well. Like nature implings are almost 11k each, magpies are 35k each, and so on. It's a very simple moneymaker. Happy hunting! Oh, and since we're on the topic of hunter already, there was this cool little trick that was just found out where you can hunt 2 sunlight antelopes with a single trap if you do everything right. First, you set up the trap, lure in the first antelope, you jump over and tag the other antelope, and while doing so, you right click the jump option on trap again, and for some reason the game allows you to do this twice. So you get 2 antelopes with 1 trap, which speeds up your hunter kill task a little bit compared to the normal methods. And since we're already in Varlamore, there is this cool little Easter egg where if you stay near the docks in Aldarin while having any type of fish in your inventory, a seagull appears and literally steals it away from you. So if you go AFK here with 28 sharks, that inventory is gonna be empty at some point. Oh, and there is this nest that can be found on top of Aldarin's windmill that has some interesting options. You can put certain items into the nest, and once you hop worlds, you will receive a completely different item than you put in. So for example, if I put in raw chicken, world hop, and click on the nest again, I get cooked chicken back. If I put in runite plate legs, I will get runite bar back. Putting in adamant scimitar just gives me a cake, and so on. It almost always leads to losing money, but so far not all the items have been tested out. So there might be something interesting in this nest that players don't know about. Okay, just a quick tip before we end the video off. There is now a plugin made for mastering mixology minigame. So if you still get confused by all the recipes, basically the plugin does all the work for you, including finding the optimal recipes, telling you which table to go to, even highlighting when to double click the table, and all you have to do is just follow the plugin. Jagex recently just buffed the minigame as well, so it's definitely worth giving it a try. And it actually has some very good rewards that I want to showcase in my next video. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to not miss out on the secret technique that I'm gonna show you next week. But that's it from me. I love you all very much, and I'll see you all soon with another video. Bye!